This is my contest entry for Toddy Walnuts. Uh, let's talk about independent films and filmmakers. There will be 5 winners, and the winner will receive limited signed Blu-ray of Jeff Wedding's double feature called Blind and A Measure of the Sin. So, the questions he wants us to answer is: who is your favorite indie filmmaker? What is your favorite indie film? Give a brief description of the film or a full blown review. If someone gave you $25,000 to make a film, what would you make? Give a brief synopsis or give a full blown detail including who you would cast. And the contest ends on January 20th. So if anyone is interested in entering this, definitely go to Todd's channel and give him a sub and make a video. And after this video, I will leave a link in the description so you can definitely check out his channel. He definitely deserves it. He's a really cool YouTuber who has a lot of cool content, and I think this is a really cool idea because it helps to put indie filmmakers in a spotlight some. Because there's a lot of talented indie filmmakers out there that need some recognition, and Jeff Wedding might be one of those. But I am going to do sort of like an honorable mention first before I get to my favorite. Because one of them, I don't have a DVD with me. It's somewhere in the basement in one of my totes. But the ones that I have with me, I'm going to start out with the movie Found. I think this is a really cool movie, especially the way it was shot. I mean, this edition wasn't open. I watched a movie at a friend's house, and it really piqued my interest. And basically, the movie is about like this kid who knows that his brother is a serial killer. And the cool thing is, like in the movie, he likes to watch a movie called Headless, and like I guess like a couple years later or whatever after this movie, they made the movie Headless, and I've got the Blu-ray in the house, and it's signed by the director. But this is a really cool film, and if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to check it out. Next up, I like this movie. It's from Dustin Wade Mills. He's one of those indie directors that really got me interested in indie films again. And the first one that I really liked is Skinless, which is not my favorite of his. That'll come up next, but Skinless is a really cool movie. It's about a doctor who creates what he thinks is a cure for cancer, but what it does is it fucks up his face. A really cool ass movie. You definitely need to check this out. And plus, too, I think it's cool. You get to see his friends make like cameos in the movie. Like you see Mr. Parker in the movie, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and Mr. Parker, he has a really awesome YouTube channel as well. He does a lot of film reviews, and a lot of it is indie films. So if anyone is interested in learning, about a certain indie film, definitely check out Mr. Parker's channel. He's really awesome. But my favorite movie from Dustin Mills is Night of the Tentacles, also known as Heart Attack. It's a Faustian type of tale about this guy who, almost died of like a heart attack or something, and he makes a deal with like this creature in a box and shit, and he's got to feed it like live people, in order to stay alive, which I thought, was a really cool ass movie. Dustin Mills, that's what I like about him is, his creativity. He has a really cool imagination, and his movies aren't boring. He does use CGI, but the CGI doesn't take you out of the film. It's done in a more fun type of way, and the budget that he uses comes directly out of his pocket a lot of times. you know I mean, hell, like, some of his movies have only like a budget of 2,000. So I think for what he's able to do, I mean, hell, he makes his own puppets. He makes his own puppets. He does his own, special effects and wardrobe and all that stuff. Uh, so definitely check out his movies. He's a really cool cat. Next up is Volumes of Blood, which I think this is cool because this cover is done by Nathan Thomas Milner, which you all know from Screen Factory Blu-rays and stuff like that. The artwork that he's done for those, and he also has a segment in this. This is the Steelbook edition, and that's the front, and that's what the back looks like. And this all takes place in a library, and that's one good thing about this movie is they're aware of their budget, so they don't try to do anything super fantastic, and they keep the location in a library, which is, I guess cheaper and stuff like that. But that's that. So let's go to my favorite director, and that is Madeline Paxson. And the movie, my favorite movie of hers, which I think this is the only movie she's done, which is a shame because she did an amazing job on this movie, and that's Blood Punch. I really like this flick. It's basically about his character, played by Milo Cawthorn. I guess that's how you say it. He's busted for making meth, and he's sent to rehab, and he meets up with this girl who he instantly falls in love with, and they have sex. They break out of the rehab place, and she gets him to make meth for her to sell, but then her boyfriend comes along, and all hell breaks loose from there. I don't want to give too much away because it's a really good movie, but one of the things that I really like about this movie is it reminds me of Groundhog's Day. So let that sink in. It's definitely a cool flick, and that's what the back looks like. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. This is really, really good. It surprised me how good it is. And it gained somewhat of a popularity as well because for the longest time it was like hard to try to find. But that was my favorite director and movie. So what movie would I make for $25,000? I would try to do things, cheaply, of course, because I would have to. But I guess like one of my ideas, and it's just something I just came up with, but it will be about like where each, it would have to be something, I don't know. Yeah, it's sort of hard to think of, but I guess one of the things I would do is I would have it involve where like a person goes like door to door and gives a person a package, and that package, there's something in it that makes that person go and kill. But with each person that is given a package, and after that killer has, done whatever they did, that next person would receive a package from that killer, and it will keep going on like that, but each kills will be different. So that's just my synopsis. But in my head, it's definitely better than I can explain it. So that was my contest entry. Good luck, everyone, in the contest. So just an overview. Blood Punch. That was my favorite movie with favorite director. Volumes of Blood. Night of the Tentacles. Skinless, also known as The Ballad of Skinless Pete. And Found. And these flicks, you definitely need to check out. They're awesome. And, well, that's it. So, y'all have a great one. Good luck, everyone. And I'll see y'all later.